What a lead. My Little Pony, Galarian Ponyta into Scrafty. There's no baiting, but the question is, does the opponent respect the damage? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are entering the Spice Zone, courtesy of fellow content creator Ripley. In certain limited metas, Galarian Rapidash, its evolution has some play. If you're wondering why Galarian Ponyta is rarely seen, it uses Swift, not Body Slam. Body Slam's 35 energy for 60 damage. Swift, unfortunately, is 55 energy for that same 60 damage. I'm sure you can see why people don't use it. But without any further ado, let's see if it's got some play in the Remix Cup. We have got a very spicy double steel backline in a standard ABB team. And in game one, Ripley save switches into Excadrill. Excadrill, the little mole, definitely did not appreciate that weather ball. The opponent save switches into the jellyfish and we land the drill run. As the opponent hasn't brought in a counter user, this could mean that our legacy Melmetal running the legacy move of double Iron Bash could be looking primed to sweep. We draw a shield with the second drill run. Ripley happy to let his low health Excadrill go down. Surf takes us out, back out. Comes Ponyta and we're going to go straight for the Play Rough. Play Rough, a pretty good move with same type attack bonus. Play Rough draws the final shield. We see the pivot into Melmetal. Ripley with 2 protect shields to hide behind is going to start investing them. The opponent full sends the Shadow Ball. Unfortunately for us, Melmetal could hit usually for neutral with Rock Slide. However, we've got double Iron Bash that doesn't knock out. However, that's probably better for us as we get the Thunder Shock farm down. The opponent's final Pokemon is Dedenne. Melmetal now looking primed to sweep. The opponent actually makes a pretty savage catch of the double Iron Bash onto their Bomber Snow. But Ripley says, hold my beer. He farms up, fires off the next double Iron Bash on the CMP tie. The opponent gets absolutely wrecked. Ripley then attempts to make a catch. The opponent holds their energy. We make the Play Rough. Play Rough lands for big neutral damage. We're already at the Iron Bash this time. We lose CMP. However, Ripley can easily shield this up. Return fire with the double Iron Bash. And that is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Holy smokes, we've got the Battle of Spice here. Galarian Ponyta into Shadow Venom off. The opponent farms up some energy. Save switch into Hypno. Is this opponent still playing a single cup team? Is this triple confusion? I don't know. We fire off the Swift. The opponent draws a shield. Then we pivot out into Melmetal. This isn't enough for a Focus Blast. However, Shadow Ball would do a lot. We shield up the Shadow Ball. We then throw one Thunder Shock and the double Iron Bash. We do get same type attack bonus. However, evidently double Iron Bash doesn't hit all that hard. Ripley gonna fire off the second one. Hypno still doesn't need to shield. We get him deep in the red. We actually managed to outpace Hypno to the next Iron Bash. It only takes 4 Thunder Shocks, and my god is this thing spammy. Ripley gonna let Melmetal go down. I really like this play as Excadrill hits like an absolute truck in the Great League. We come in, we get the full Mud Shot farm down. What is that final Pokemon? It's Kofa Grigas. Ripley at the back-to-back charge moves. We've just got to be mindful of the opponent attempting to make a catch. The first one gets them low. The opponent does make that catch. However, let me fucking tell you, Venomoth definitely is not going to tank this. They get absolutely wrecked. Excadrill says, I'm going to sweep this team. We make the next drill run. And the little mole completely sweeps the back line. GG's and thanks for playing. If this was me battling, I'd probably say, fuck. As we're absolutely in a terrible matchup, we save switch into Excadrill and things have gone from bad to worse. We draw out Quagsire. Quagsire easily tanks the drill run. However, Excadrill will not be tanking this Mud Bomb. Ripley gonna invest the Protect Shield, looking to force a shield off the opponent. We really nicely overfarm, firing off on the CMP tie. Quagsire does return the shield. Ripley knows he won't be taking back switch, so we allow the Mud Bomb to take us out. We come back into Ponyta. Ponyta has 0 cheap charge moves, so I wonder if we're going to go for the full Psycho Cut farm down. Holy smokes. Ponyta actually isn't particularly bulky whatsoever, so we're forced to throw the Swift. Swift will be securing the knockout. We need Melmetal to be really good against the remainder of the team. Back out comes Ferrofauna. We actually throw on alignment, which isn't fantastic. We land the Play Rough, which is resisted and pretty much did nothing. Melmetal comes in. The opponent fires off the Thunder. We're already at half health. Ripley now going for a pretty risky double Iron Bash bait. The opponent calls the bait, and I think this is just going to be game over. Ripley going to invest his final Protect Shield, hoping he can pull off some magic. The opponent did full send the Thunder, Ripley this time, going straight for the superpower, secures the knockout, and the opponent says, I just want to show you my third, I'm running a My Little Pony as well. We fire off the double Iron Bash, the opponent shields it up, Ripley attempts to make a catch, the opponent over farms, fires off the body slam will be taking care of our pony. We are going to make a double Iron Bash, even though this is super effective, it won't secure the knockout. The opponent reaches a charge move, and that's going to be all she wrote. GG's to that opponent. Moving on to the next one. Ponyta into Quagsire. The opponent is so bamboozled by the Spice that are just standing there in awe. In fairness, they were lagging. Ripley shows great sportsmanship, allowing the opponent to catch up, then full sends the play rough, landing for pretty big damage. The opponent then sends out Golbat and stay in school, kids. Learn to count. We catch the Poison Fang onto Excadrill, and Excadrill, being super glassy, tanked that really well as both steel and ground resist poison. Ripley then returns fire with the Rock Slide Golbat, invest their first Protect Shield. They then lose CMP on the next Rock Slide. Let me tell you, do not try and CMP Excadrill in the Great League. The opponent then goes for a really terrible bait. Ripley says, I'm not falling for your dirty masturbating habit, Excadrill. Not only forced both Protect Shields in the mid game, we won switch, and the opponent realises masturbating is a terrible habit and they just concede. Moving on to the next one. Galarian Ponyta into the fighter that needs to pull its fucking trousers up. What a lead. The question is, does the opponent know the moveset and do they respect the damage? They do not. Scrafty gets absolutely wrecked. The opponent now sends out Tentacruel. I think we really should be pivoting, however Ripley gonna fire off the Swift, looking to force a shield. We draw a shield, we then see the pivot into Melmetal. Much like the Jellicent matchup we saw earlier in the video, Melmetal's hitting for super effective with the Thunder Shocks, however both charge moves are resisted due to water resistant steel. However, we fire off the double Iron Bash, and my god, that does absolutely nothing. Ripley fires off the next one on the CMP tie. I believe this is an acid spray. Ripley evidently agrees. The opponent fires off the acid spray. Melmetal shrugs it off. We are going to outpace to the next double Iron Bash. They're now so low that this will be secure in the knockout. The opponent's got a Charmer in the back. Ripley farms up one before the double Iron Bash and sends out the Little Mole, and my god, its lack of bulk is on display again as Charm tearing us apart despite being resisted. Ripley lands the Drill Run. We then throw the next Drill Run, not at the best timing. We actually threw 2 mud shots where we should throw 1, 4 or 7. However, Excadrill says, don't worry about my not the best fast move timing as no Charmer is beating me, and we take another dub. Let's go. I absolutely hate Charm. Please never lose to a Charmer. In the next battle we lead Galarian Ponyta into Ariados. Yikes, we see the pivot into Melmetal. The opponent stays in, gonna fire off a lunge. Lunge is resisted but is gonna lower our attack. It now becomes apparent why the opponent wanted to get off the debuff, as they haven't got a great response for our Melmetal, sending out Dragalge. Dragalge using Dragon Tail, which is also resisted by Melmetal's Mono Steel typing. Melmetal spamming out double Iron Bash after double Iron Bash. Again, not the best move, but my god, is it spammy. We've now got Dragalge deep into the red. Ripley pretty happy with Melmetal's contribution in this game. The opponent fires off the Aqua Tail. We almost make one more charge move. We actually didn't quite get there. However, this does set up a nice farm down for our Ponyta. The opponent fires off the Aqua Tail. We commit to the full farm down and we're looking to pivot into Excadrill. We did hit Excadrill, however Ripley now evidently deciding to stay in. We then fire off on the CMP tie. We play to a CMP tie that we do not win. Shout out Home Size Henry for that line, and now it's all down to Excadrill. This really annoying spider gonna debuff us, and unfortunately as Excadrill is our final Pokemon, we're going to be unable to reset it. Ripley shows really nice awareness, over farming heavily. The opponent lets it go, saving 2 shields for Overqwil. Oh my god, that's a huge mistake, as this is going to be game over. The opponent's win con would be to try and Poison Jab farm us all the way down. The opponent throws a charge move, however Excadrill's at the back-to-back, so we shield up the Aqua Tail. The first Drill Run will be drawing the final shield. The second one, despite being debuffed, going to be all she wrote, and Excadrill, from a really rough spot, manages to clean up. GG's. Excadrill looking like a really fun pick in this meta. Moving on to the next battle. Ponyta into Dunsparce. I'm not even going to try and blag you like pretending I know how this matchup plays out. I imagine Dunsparce probably wins as My Little Pony doesn't really win too many matches. Ripley tanked the drill run, then returns fire with the Play Rough, and Play Rough just doesn't do anywhere near enough damage. We are going to get outpaced. Ripley completely sacking his lead. To be honest, Dunsparce a huge core breaker. We come into Melmetal. The opponent sends out Charizard, and no, we've got no Rock Slide. However, I bet the opponent shields, which they do, and now they're going to be very sad. As little do they know, they completely wall our charge moves. The opponent farms up to the Blast Burn and they full send it. Ripley putting all his hopes and dreams on the back of the mole. Once again, let's see if we pull off another sweep. The opponent goes straight Dragon Claw. Ripley knew that it was only a claw. We didn't shield. I would have liked to see Ripley throw the Rock Slide before the opponent makes another charge move, as now he's forced to invest the Protect Shield. Ripley fires off the Rock Slide. The opponent commits probably the strangest shield I've ever seen in my life, as Ripley was evidently at the back-to-back the next Rock Slide. Secures the knockout. The opponent's final Pokemon is Clefable, and we have got a chance at sweeping Ripley over farms. He goes for the undercharge. The undercharge is an absolute beauty. We mudshot farm all the way down. We're now going to outpace this Clefable to the back-to-backs. We shield up the Meteor Mash. Clefable is about to get wrecked. Little do they know it. The opponent isn't even at the next move. Ripley's at the back-to-back. The first one gets some low, and the second one is going to be All She Wrote Excadrill, doing its very best Shadow Swampert impersonation, showing that it could well be the GOAT of this meta. Moving on to the next one. My Little Pony out here, winning lead. The opponent save switches into Golbat. Ripley attempts to catch a Poison Fang. However, the opponent shows great discipline, holding the energy Melmetal. Eats a Shadow Ball to the face, but we do manage to survive that fairly well. Ripley goes to the double Iron Bash. The opponent lets it go. Ripley fires off the next one, looking to put some shield pressure on this bat. The opponent completely sacks the bat. We do manage to maintain alignment. However, the opponent gets a nice counter farm down. They go straight Mud Bomb. Ripley has no choice but to shield this up, as Excadrill really doesn't want to see Toxicroak. We lose CMP, return fire with the Play Rough. Play Rough draws a shield from the opponent. They pivot out into Charizard. And Niantic, fix your fucking game. Again, the opponent suffering with some lag. Ripley does give him a chance to catch up. And then the opponent says, fuck this, and concede the match. And I can't blame him, because this game is broken. Moving on to the next one. Another yikes lead. My Little Pony can only hit Alolan Sandslash for resist as we pivot into Melmetal. And the opponent answers with Flygon. Flygon, due to the ground, Dragon typing, triple resist our Thunder Shocks. However, Melmetal super spammy with the double Iron Bashes. The opponent shows great awareness, knowing they can tank too, and they're going to be unlikely to be Thunder Shock farmed down. The opponent fires off the Dragon Claw, allowing Melmetal to make one more charge move. This should force a shield off the opponent, which it does. Flygon does get a nice Dragon Tail farm down. However, My Little Pony comes in, gets the Psycho Cut farm down, back out, comes Shadow Sandslash. Ripley just going to save 2 shields for the mole, and why not, as that has been a pretty fantastic play this far. We come into Excadrill. Excadrill going to need to start shielding. Surely we don't see another Excadrill sweep, do we? The opponent continues to stay in. They then look to send out Shadow Nidoqueen. Shadow Nidoqueen has a family. Ripley Drill Run absolutely vanquishes them. Back to their Pokeball. Sandslash does return, but they're also going to get wrecked. Ripley fires off the first Drill Run. The opponent realises it's game over, and they don't even use their shield. Let's go. Shout out that opponent for running a triple Shadow team. In the next battle, we lead My Little Pony into the new apparent top meta pick, this piece of shit known as Carbink. However, we say switch into Melmetal, which is hitting this thing for double super effective with the double Iron Bash. The opponent now forced to shield as they stayed in like a potato. They then made yet another potato play, throwing a Rock Slide at a Steel type. They then say switch into Lurantis. This opponent isn't even baiting a super out. They go straight Leaf Blade and an easy tank for Melmetal. We shrug it off, return fire with yet another double Iron Bash. My god, Melmetal putting in work. Ripley is going to outpace to the next double Iron Bash. However, he gets greedy. Playing to a CMP tie. We lose CMP. We've hit the super power to Ripley. Invest the Protect Shield. We return fire with the super power. Super power draws the final shield. The opponent looks to Fury cut a farm down, but Melmetal says no, making one final double Iron Bash, getting this Lurantis super low. Ripley sends out Ponyta, looking to tank the energy. The opponent fires off yet another Leaf Blade. Can we get the Psycho Cut farm down? No, we can't, but Ripley going to be pretty happy we got this thing into a range where we can Mudshot farm down. In comes Excadrill, we get the farm down, and I already know Excadrill is going to sweep because it swept every other team. The opponent's final Pokemon is Golbat. Oh my days, this is getting frustrating. The opponent doesn't even build up to a Shadow Ball. We easily tank that. Ripley over farms beautifully, fires off the Rock Slide. Rock Slide doesn't quite one-shot Ripley, again over farms, and again the opponent throws a Poison Fang. Ripley looking to shield flex on this opponent, and we're going for the BM Drill Run, even resisted. Gonna one-shot from that low health, back out comes Carbink, and that piece of shit can eat a Drill Run as well. GG's and thanks for playing. Huge shout out to fellow content creator for Ripley bringing us this really spicy team. I was expecting to see a Galarian Ponyta showcase, but my god, did Excadrill absolutely steal the show. What a phenomenal pick it is in this meta. It was able to sweep team after team. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to my new battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.